let's bring in our legal analyst to discuss. Once again, joining us, trial attorney Byron Browne. Okay, so you're hearing the defense really press these witnesses here, and we know that there was all this controversy surrounding the chain of custody for that shell casing. What's your reaction hearing that part of this?
Well, I'm not very impressed with the defense's line of questioning so far. I think he needs to do more to create reasonable doubt as it relates to the authenticity of that casing. You know, I want to know how many pieces of wood she moved, why she was moving the pieces of wood. Isn't it just a little too good to happen that this shell casing was just found just outside of the view of the camera? Now, maybe he's saving this information for later because we're just watching a little bit of a snippet of this, but I think he needs to do a lot better job at poking at her biases, and which he is doing, like he just said, and he's reaching at the right person. The follow-up question to that is, who is the right person? Because I'm assuming her and her family have been gunning to see Kit accused and charged with murder. So it's probably exactly what you wanted to see happen, Kit being charged. The other interesting thing that came out of that defense line of questioning was the polygraph test. If he is correct, which I'm assuming he is, about this Rogers case from the Supreme Court of Kentucky, allowing in polygraph evidence, meaning she failed the polygraph. We have to assume she was asked questions on that polygraph as it relates to her motive and or bias as it relates to see Kit charged, and she failed that. Now, what the judge says is, essentially at this hearing, hey, I'm not going to deal with that right now, but you filed your motion and we will deal with it as it relates to whether it's admitted at trial at that particular time. So that will be very interesting. The polygraph piece of the puzzle, so to speak, I want to hear more about that, and I want to see the defense poke more as it relates of creating alternative theories of how this casing could have ended up in this wood pile, and I haven't seen that yet, so I want to see it more aggressive.
Yeah, and regarding the polygraphs, actually in that pretrial hearing that's happening later on today, we're expected to hear more, potentially a ruling from the judge whether those polygraphs should be admitted. I want to ask you about another piece of this. So the defense team has claimed that these charges are essentially politically motivated. So we know that the victim's family met with the state attorney general. They were pushing for an arrest, and the attorney general at the time, Andy Beshear's team, put a special prosecutor on the case. The defense says that Beshear was using this high-profile indictment to bolster his own political career, ultimately helping to get him elected governor of Kentucky, which he is. So the defense wrote in its September 2020 motion to dismiss for due process violation. Take a look at this. This is what they wrote. Was Christian Martin indicted in order to assist in the gubernatorial bid by Andrew Beshear by allowing a high-profile arrest, photo opportunity, and press conference prior to the primary election? Was he secretly indicted on insufficient evidence years after someone committed a murder? If the answer to either of these questions is yes, then the indictment should be dismissed to prevent the government creating a terrible injustice. So, Mr. Browne, I mean, what do you think of this? Do you think that this is just a really far-fetched, desperate attempt at a defense?
I mean, it's not totally far-fetched. I mean, we have political candidates all the time that do things to put themselves in praise in the public so they win elections. So I don't think it's completely outrageous. However, I believe it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. They're going to have something linking these two events together, meaning the election and the indictment, and I don't think they do, other than just mere speculation and conjecture, and I don't think that's going to get them anywhere.
And obviously that, like I said, that was part of a motion to dismiss, and obviously it's going to trial anyway. But also on the lines of kind of, perhaps political influences, remember that it was a local politician who showed up at the crime scene when the family members of two of the victims called him to come and evaluate what do they do with this evidence, which again was found months after the actual crime. So do you think that piece of the politics here is going to influence the jury?
Yeah, I think that's more relatable, more believable than the governor election. And it's because they called him over, and I think we saw video footage of an elected official just now over at the House. And yeah, I believe is powerful evidence to make the argument that there is collusion, that there is alternative sort of theories out there as to why Kit could be charged. And the defense, maybe one of those in and of themselves isn't enough to get Kid off or to throw the jury off the scent, so to speak. But I think once you start putting these things together, you put the governor thing together, you put in some political motivated stuff, you put in the casing being possibly planted, you put in that this wood pile is just like unbelievable. It's the proverbial needle in a haystack. When you start adding those things up, then I think you can put the jury in the right frame of mind to think like, wow, this is just way too unclear for us to render a verdict.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, it chips away at the case little by little, and it just kind of adds up, it sounds like. Well, thanks so much for joining us. So we have much more ahead on this case, Kentucky versus Christian Martin, and other top legal stories.